In this video, let's discuss about how Chabahar port benefits India. First, let's discuss about the history of this deal. It all started in the year 2003 when India expressed its interest in developing the seaport at Chabahar city in Iran, but the formal agreement was not signed then. An agreement was only signed at the Trilateral General Cooperation between India, Iran, and Afghanistan to develop the port in Chabahar in 2016. This port helps India not only connecting the Afghanistan but also gives India access to the car and European countries. India sent its first wheat shipment via Chabahar port to Afghanistan in the year 2017, which was a significant step towards turning the port into an import commercial use. Since then, Chabahar port has not only handed over 8.4 million metric tons of bulk and general cargo, but also has been a lifeline in the time of crisis. During the time of COVID-19 pandemic, the port facilitated the transshipment of 2,000 tons of pulses and 2.5 million tons of wheat from India to Afghanistan, providing essential food supplies. This humanitarian role, particularly in the time of crisis, underscores the port's significance beyond its commercial success. India may succeed in leasing the port, but the deal comes with some risks. The risks are geopolitical tensions and sanctions on Iran by US. Any country that establishes business deals with Iran can potentially be sanctioned by US. Although US has lifted sanctions against India in 2016 for the port development and building railway links to Afghanistan, but India found hard time developing these projects under the fear of US sanctions. Because in the recent years, US has sanctioned multiple Indian companies for their connections with Iran. After the port agreement signed between India and Iran, US has warned that any nations engaging in business with Iran could face the potential risk of sanctions despite of the Chabahar port's previous exemption from US restrictions. In response to US, the External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar responded that
We've had a long association with the Chabahar port. I did see some remarks which were made. I don't think people should take a narrow view of it.
this port acts as a gateway to connect India to the Central Asia Republic countries and Europe. This would definitely benefit India in many ways. But have you ever thought, why does India show interest on a port in Iran, a country which has geopolitical tensions, active proxy armies, and sanctions by US? Well, the reason for that is very simple. More than trading and port development, for India, the port is all about the strategic location. India committed to invest $120 million and also pledged a $250 million credit to Iran. If you look at the China string of pearls strategy, you might already notice that Gwadar port in Pakistan is one among them. Both Pakistan and China, they consider their bond as Iron Brotherhood. China built the Gwadar port in Pakistan with an estimated budget of almost $250 million. The ownership of the port was later handed over to Chinese-based company in the year 2013. The presence of Chinese naval ships in Gwadar port or potential use of this port as a Chinese naval base is unknown, but definitely not zero. Presence of both China and Pakistan next to Indian border has increased worries for India. To counter string of pearls and Chinese presence in the Indian Ocean, India turned towards Iran for the port development and leasing of port. With years of negotiations and multiple setbacks, Iranian government has awarded India with 10 years of lease of the Chabahar port. India is spending nearly $350 million to get this port. So can India use this port for naval purposes in the future? The answer would be no, because considering the Iranian government, it is unlikely that they give access to India to dock or use this port for any naval purposes. Moreover, China has a good relationships with Iran, and China also promised to invest around $300 billion on infrastructure development in Iran. This shows the long-term relationship between China and Iran, so using Chabahar port against China in case of conflict is highly unlikely. China will be closely monitoring on how Chabahar port will be impacting the Gwadar port, so owning the Chabahar port is not going to be an easy play for India. For now, we can only expect that This port helps India to build a good relationship with Iran and in return helps India to connect to the Afghanistan and other Eurasian countries for the bilateral trades. That's it for today. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.